Hey guys! So today I thought I would go over some weird things that I do not own as a minimalist. There are a lot of weird things that people own that I just don't find necessary, and so I thought I'd make a video about them. The first thing that may be really weird that I don't own is a coat or a jacket. Now I do live in Virginia, which it doesn't get that cold. It barely gets in the low 20s here. I'm talking Fahrenheit. So it's fairly, it never really gets below freezing. And I have owned a coat in the past, and the reason I got rid of it is that I would wear it maybe 1 to 2 times a year, and every time I would wear it, it would be so bulky and uncomfortable, and I would take it off as soon as I got to where I was going, and it just, I would rather wear a really nice sweater and a big scarf and a hat and maybe some leg warmers than a giant coat, and feel much more put together and less cumbersome, because I hate carrying around that coat. Like, you don't wear it in a building. The second thing that I do not own is a mop. So when I mop my floor, I just put a dish rag on the floor and either get down on my hands and knees and scrub the floor, or use my foot to push it around to scrub to clean the floor. And I clean the floor almost every day, and we only have a really tiny little part of the kitchen and dining room and I guess the bathroom that really needs to be mopped, and I don't feel like owning a giant mop would be very convenient. It would take up a lot of space, and it's just easier for me to mop the floor this way. There are some common things that most minimalists don't own, like disposable towels. We use cloth towels. I don't really do tampons, or I don't know what they're called, disposable pads. I use cloth pads, and I really like them. Those are pretty common when you make the switch to minimalism and more conscious, trying to be more conscious. Another thing that I don't own as a minimalist is a coffee pot. We do own a French press, but you can use that for a lot of different things like tea and not just coffee. And we're not very big coffee drinkers, so why own a coffee pot when we don't drink coffee? Another thing I don't own is a Christmas tree, or any holiday decorations actually. I don't own Thanksgiving holiday decorations, Christmas holiday decorations, or Easter holiday decorations. So my reasoning behind that is we have a really tiny house, and we do own a lot of stuff that makes us happy and that we use on a daily basis. And I'm not going to own things that I only put out for a certain period of time to make my house feel more festive, when everywhere you go outside of your house in America, when it's a holiday, is decorated like to the teeth. So if I'm gonna have all that stimulus and decorations and abundance of holiday cheer outside of my house, I want to keep my house kind of calm and minimalist and uncluttered. So decorations is just not something that I do, and I don't miss it. And maybe one day we will get a Christmas tree, maybe when Ruben's older if he wants one, but we could never get a real tree because my husband's very allergic. So my son might be too. And I'm not sure how I feel about a fake tree, because that's just weird. So we don't currently have a Christmas tree, and we won't be decorating for Christmas. So that's something that people mentioned a lot in my vlogs last year, but it's just the way that we are. I mean, we do Christmas, we give presents, and we talk about Jesus' birth, and we celebrate Christ, and I feel like that's the most important thing. So those were really the 5 weirdest things that I think that I don't own as a minimalist. There are probably more things I don't own. It's hard to think of them because they're things that I don't use, I don't own. So I really only see them when I go to other people's houses, and I'm like, oh, that's weird, I don't have one of those. We don't use that. And everyone's different, everyone has different priorities, but this is just my list. So let me know if you could live without a mop, or if you could live without a coat in your climate. Bye.